letting it crash into the table leg. A growl grew louder in his stomach and blended with the scraping, the humming, the scooting sounds of his family. He watched Mama Minnie, Granny Tukey, and Mama, already learning the ways of women. Mama poured coffee. Mama Minnie pulled out a stick of butter. Granny Tukey stirred a pan of sweet rice and couldn't stop herself from thinking her new grandchild should be another boy. Boy gave you less to worry about. But Mama Minnie was sure of the signs when she saw a bird on the window ledge. Not a Kentucky bird that she could identify. A rare bird with a breast of red freckled with yellow dots. She sunk the heavy skillet into the hot water, its weight straining against her wrist. The bird perched on a branch outside the window and ruffled its feathers, then pranced in a full circle before it looked Mama Minnie square in the face and cocked its pretty head like it was listening to what she had to say. "Won't be long," she whispered to the listening bird and to herself. This knowing, reading signs, was as familiar as her own 2 hands. A long time ago, when Mama Minnie was a girl, women down home came to her mama's kitchen door, looking to know what sign of the moon to cut a baby's hair, when to wean it from its mother's nipple, whether the ball of woman's belly contained girl or boy. Even the white women came with their full bellies and colicky babies. Now Mama Minnie was the one who could spot a woman in the family way before anyone else, sometimes even before the mother knew herself. Had nothing to do with the belly, had to do with that look around the eyes when they were babyful, she'd say. She delivered babies, too, though women don't catch babies for one another much anymore. They go to the hospital. "Seen more tale than most men," she said. "Saw just about every woman from Opulence to Dry Ridge, on up across Patsy Rife, and clear on up to the Tennessee border with their legs spread, sweating, gripping a bed sheet, bringing along another life to this old suffering world." And of course she could gauge the weight of a reaching child on a woman's hip, squeezing sweet fat knees around a mama's waist. 12 pounds, 15, 8. If it was a scrawny baby, she'd look the mother right in the eyes and say, "Feed that baby some sugar rice." "Nothing like a young'un in this whole world," she said. She had given birth to 3 round-faced babies of her own. First Uncle Butter, then Uncle June, then Granny Tukey, who never left home until the day she died, unlike the boys. Outside, Hazel Sloane came out on her porch, shook her rugs into the yard, and greeted my father. A dog barked down the road somewhere. Daddy glanced up from the hood, nodded his head, threw up his hand. He looked up at the hills. That astronaut, John Glenn, had gone clean around the world in 4 hours. Daddy wondered what it felt like to be that high up. He looked up at the trees, to the hazy sky, and then again to the hills. The look of those hills come morning, the fog rising up like God's hand on them, always amazed him. In fact, he was amazed at everything he saw outdoors. Sometimes he'd walk to the edge of town to see the hills better, or drive down to the home place before dawn, just to watch the sun rise over the pines while the dew was still in. He had never thought he'd become a countryman, but by then it was too late. Daddy's buddies back in the city would get a big laugh if they could see him out hoeing a garden, working on a car in an open field, standing with a walking stick, looking down on a meadow. "Joe Brown's a country nigger now," they'd say. Mama hollered out the side porch door. She waved him inside. Hazel Sloane was watering her plants, so many plants that she would still be pouring water from her jug when we were half through with breakfast. Miss Hazel turned to wave at Mama, pausing to stand straight up. "You sure poking out there." Hazel made a round motion in front of her own waist. 8 months along, said Mama. She cocked her head like that listening bird, patted the